thank you for that opportunity. And so, any questions?
Thank you. Council members? Councilmember Crenshaw.
Mr. Gonzalez, thank you for being here today. I'm glad we went to lunch, and kudos to the mayor for facilitating that a couple of weeks ago, because I think we would be here till midnight if I had my grievances to air with you that I was able to do the other day at lunch. So that's good news, because I've saved everyone in this room from having to hear that. But I would say that half of the complaints that I get daily since I become a council member in May are about TxDOT. So I appreciate you coming here today and being here today. With all due respect to Tanya or your communications individual, I think that there's a lot of room for improvement, okay? It seems like when highway projects would start in Texas, there'd be a sign that would say it costs this much and the contractor is so-and-so. But you don't see those anymore. I would like to see those signs with an email address of who people should contact when they have concerns or comments about those highway construction projects. Just something to throw out there. The number one complaint and question that I get from constituents is, why do y'all start so many projects without finishing the ones that are currently going on? So why are we starting all these different projects in Beaumont when y'all haven't finished FM 365 and Walden Road and going out to Hampshire Road? You say those are going to be done in 26, 27, so I think we should probably add a year or two onto that estimate. Why do we start all these projects and tear up all the roads and then extend this out? So I think that y'all should do a better job of providing that information on your websites. Why we had to tear down Maury Myers Bridge and inconvenience people for the next 5 years, assuming this project is on time, and why we had to do that right now, and we couldn't have waited to have done that when we were actually ready to expand the highway. And with all due respect, I appreciate the concern on aesthetics. No one that I've ever talked to on TxDOT that has concerns or complaints about you guys care about the aesthetics. They want highway projects to be done sooner than 10 to 15 years. I do know that you've only had this position for 5 years, so I do appreciate the fact that you've made and implemented a lot of policy changes and tried to get projects done, but we talked about it during lunch. There are projects that were supposed to have been done 5 years ago out on Cardinal Drive that are still going on today. And it's like that project's still going on and that contractor still hasn't completed it, but we've started projects now here in Beaumont and torn up half the roads in our town for a project that's going to take 5 years. So I think that you've got a lot of room for improvement on communication, and I would really like to see your staff put more effort towards addressing people's concerns and giving better explanation to the public, because I certainly don't have the answer. And Tina, could we please put up the picture that I sent you? Here is yesterday, a complaint that I got yesterday from someone being very concerned about y'all tearing up the road and leaving large pieces of concrete all over the side of the highway that could become projectiles during a storm. And here we are in the height of hurricane season, okay? With all this going on, this is supposed to be an evacuation route. We have crazy weather going on all over Texas and the country right now, and your contractor has gone and left the entire side of the highway littered with giant concrete boulders that have been there for weeks. Again, these are just things that when you started off your presentation saying your number one concern is safety, it leaves a lot to be desired. And I want you to know that I am committed to helping you guys with better communication and getting better information out there. That's why this week I did the zipper merge on my social media to help you guys educate everyone on zipper merges. But your department really has got to do a better job in Beaumont of helping this council and helping this community understand what y'all are doing and why you're doing it. Because right now we're in the dark and it's very confusing and it's extremely frustrating.
So if I may address some of the comments
Please,
that
yes, thank you.
Councilmember made. Um, So I'm gonna let Lisa maybe speak a little bit to why we do the funding, because, if you want to touch on why we let some of these projects the way that we do, and then I'll speak to the duration and some of those other construction elements that you're gonna be sharing in a picture. So Lisa, if you don't mind sharing
Sure.
why we do what we do.
Absolutely. So I can understand the frustration that you have, Councilman Crenshaw, and a lot of times it seems like decisions are made in a vacuum, and that is not the case. What I want to assure you of is that we have public involvement at nearly every phase of every project that we do. Some of it is done directly by the district at our level. Some of it is done statewide when we have funding programs that come through, such as our UTP and our TIP and STIP that are approved on a every 4-year basis and then revised as we go. But funding comes when it comes. And I'm sure that you guys are all very familiar with the fact that you must strike when the iron is hot. It ebbs and flows, federal funding and state funding. And so we have projects on the books that we're working toward getting funding for decades. And when it finally does come in, we have to act on that or we risk losing that fund. So we do the projects as we can afford to do them. We have a plan. That master plan comes out and is open for public review every time that we have a new plan to present. And we are currently making changes to the project pages that we have on TxDOT.gov. So if you have signed up for updates, you'll be able to see the updated information. Some of those are for active construction projects and others are for ones that are still planned.
Okay, so my picture is up now. Why would y'all allow your contractor to leave concrete projectiles all down the road like that for a storm to come through and start throwing those all over vehicles and all over the area around there? Why would that not be something that would be collected and put in a dump truck and hauled off at the same time that it's being destroyed?
Explain that a little bit.
Thank you, Lisa.
So,
I mean, don't y'all agree doesn't look good, does it?
it does not. It's part of the construction phase that's going on right now. So as you see here, where it's the broken concrete is between barriers. There's no traffic going in that area.
Well, I get that, but that
Right.
doesn't stop that from,
So, there's no cars. I don't believe the
I
wind
see
is
three.
within those barriers, Councilman Crenshaw. So let me explain
Just let them know why we're doing
Okay.
this particular.
So what we're doing, this is gonna be phase 1, step 3. They removed they broke back the center barrier. Okay, they're in the process of doing that right now. It's also going from almost UPPR all the way up to that curve is, and barrier from 11th Street going up to around 7th Street in that center area. What we're gonna do when that concrete is removed, traffic will be moved into that area. So I-10 westbound or eastbound, lanes will be moved into that area, and then we'll start removing the retaining wall.
why not have your contractor pick up the concrete when they turn it into that
They are working on
situation?
it. So we do have an issue right now. There is a French drain system right there on the farther end. I guess just go down to the south. We are looking at the redesign of that French drain for the hydraulics of the roadway. So we got with the EOR, the contractor, consultant that did the plans, and we are working on that to get it fixed. Once we get that done, that is going to be removed, restriped, and phase construction of phase 1, step 3.
So the French drain is preventing y'all from picking up those pieces?
No, it's part of the construction, Councilman.
So why not have your contractor with a dump truck pick up the concrete after it chops it up into those pieces?
We can get the contractor to do that. That's up to their phasing. Right now, they are working on some of the frontage roads around that old Acura dealership and some drill shafts and still installing the under drainage around the eastbound frontage roads.
When is that going to be picked up? And I'm asking these questions so I can let this person know
Yeah.
who sent me this picture.
Right, so in, like any.
A month, 2 months?
Well, so like any construction project, you can't just pick up everything as soon as demolished. Anybody that's endured any kind of construction, even within your home, I'm fairly certain they don't clean everything up as every conclusion of every day when they're doing their construction, because obviously they're gonna still break some more things up while they're resolving that drain issue.
I know, but
that
my,
they're
my,
talking
my
about.
home construction's not out on a highway like this with large boulders of concrete that can,
But at the same time, it's one of those things that once they get everything, like budgets are, well, we talk about budgets, right? And you mentioned with hurricane season and things like that. if we talk about things like that, we're hoping that people first would evacuate well in advance of the storm. And part of our roles at TxDOT is once a storm comes through, we're able to assess the damages, clean everything up before we allow the traffic to move back into the area. That's what we do as the department. So I can't tell you that this is going to be done within, a day or two, things like that.
Well, I wouldn't expect to be done with it a day or two, but I would like to tell the person that sent me this picture, these boulders will be cleaned up in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And it just concerns me that it's like, well, we're working on a French drain and we'll get to it whenever we can. And I just think that that's really concerning. You see these grooves at the bottom where things can get out from underneath those barriers. I mean, loose rock can get out and then that gets thrown up by one of these 18-wheelers and hits someone's windshield, and then we have a major accident.
I can understand that, Councilman Crenshaw. We can talk after this and get a better date with the contractor to see exactly when that's going.
And I think emphasis should be made on the contractor to go pick that stuff up.
Oh, yes, sir. And they definitely will. Like I said, that traffic will be within that area. So all that area will be cleaned, dressed up, striped, and
By
traffic.
Christmas?
Let me get with you after that. I want to give you, I don't want to say exact date until I talk with the
So
contractor.
the overall plan is to move over to the next phase, like Dave said. Like Dave mentioned, is once they get some of those alignment issues addressed, then the plan is to move that barrier over so that we can go to the next phase.
That is
and that's
correct.
part of the things that we're trying to address.
And you talked about hurricane too. It is our plan to always keep 2 lanes south 69 at all times through construction. And I-10 also 2 lanes going to Louisiana. So no matter what during through construction, we are going to keep that through hurricane season. And when we get toward that phase 1, step 3, it will be done. And we can talk later if you want to look at exact dates. Yes, sir.
So what Dave will definitely do is address this with the contractor and be able to provide you a better timeline of when this, we anticipate that.
Yes, sir.
being moved.
Right.
That's not something
And again, I wasn't intending of this to be some gotcha moment. I just want you to see the type of questions that I get daily about TxDOT that I don't know how to answer. And there's just a lot of frustrated folks out there.
And I want to encourage y'all, again, the whole point is because we don't want you to have to feel that necessary burden, refer those questions to Dave, to Fred, to our staff, so that we are able to answer those things.
And I share your name and phone numbers all the time, so I'll
That's what we're
continue
here
to.
for.
And when I talked to the previous council members earlier too, that, you're welcome to call me anytime. And if you have anyone that, has questions, please reach out to me.
My friends at the police department say, Mr. Collins, you do an excellent job at communication, so I do appreciate that. But overall, I think your department has significant room for improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. So I will say one thing with regards to the overall communication, as you mentioned, and Lisa shared this before. We have public involvement throughout all of our projects. And in a lot of our projects, some of the things that we've been doing just over the last 3 years is we have secondary public meetings. We give ample opportunities for everybody to come and visit and see what projects we are going to be doing in the area. So we not only inform the public and invite everybody else to attend, but we also update our project pages so everybody knows, because the information is out there. Obviously, if some people do not attend some of these public meetings, you can bring a horse to water, right? But you can't make them drink. So from that standpoint, we're doing everything that we are supposed to be doing with communication, and actually going above and beyond in some cases. So in Tanya's defense, I will say she has been doing a very good job of putting those notices out there. And my staff has done a very good job of public communication as far as before the project's let. Now, as I mentioned, look, I don't make excuses for anything that happens at TxDOT because I am the head of this district. But problems that may have been inherited, we are fixing. And is it perfect? No. Is anybody perfect? No. But we're gonna keep working to do things better. So appreciate that, and we'll keep working to improve things in this district.
Yes, Council Member Turner and then Council Member Sherwood.
First and foremost, seriously, thank you guys for coming, because it's just like me going to a town hall where I know citizens are kind of upset with me and being able to stand there and just take it. You know, like that's one of the things I learned as being an elected official. You got to be able to take it if you want to be in that position. So thank you guys for coming. I understand we're experiencing some development we never ever seen in a very long time in Beaumont. But where I kind of get like beat up in some of these neighborhood associations, other places is people simply don't understand, you know, we're different entities. I'll give you an example. Washington Boulevard, when you enter onto the freeway, onto the ramp, it's a pretty rough entrance. I actually know where to kind of dodge it to avoid it almost every time. Even on I-10, when you exit over there by the Papados area, it's pretty rough over there. Like literally, once you get off, you kind of know kind of what to duck and dodge. But that was one of my main things, the feeder roads. And I understand you guys are redoing them, but maybe just filling in some of those spots that we're actually experiencing, I would say, turbulence. Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
But so yes, that's something that we actually visited while we had lunch last week, and you know, good conversations. Again, there's a lot of things that we are obviously bound through different contracts, right? And like anybody knows, as I'm sure you are all aware, when you let a contract for X amount of dollars, any additional work obviously is where a lot of contractors come back with a change order, and you pay a premium price for those kinds of things. So what we are doing in the Beaumont district is where some of these items may not have been included, we are addressing that with our maintenance forces. So Fred and his staff, they went out there and they filled a lot of these potholes, right? Mm-hmm. But those are temporary fixes. So after we had lunch, Dave and I went and drove, and then after that, I called Keith, my director of maintenance, and we went and drove. And once I got him off the back seat because he jumped back there because of the rough road. I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad. But once it's not that bad. But once we assessed the situation, Keith came up with a plan for us to be able to address some of those concerns. And so I asked Keith to step up here because he can provide a little bit of an update of what we're about to do there.
Yeah, so we plan to start Monday with our special jobs crews and our crew and Fred's crew in making the repairs on several locations where the asphalt pavement has failed. We're going to repair those. Where the concrete pavement has failed, we're going to take that out and put asphalt in and compact it real well so that it lasts until the contractor can get there. So that will start, our plan right now is to start that Monday.
We're milling that, right?
Right, and we'll mill that out.
Yeah, you might want. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll mill some areas, especially like on ramps, to get a smoother ride. And then we come after September 1st, when I get a new pot of money for a new budget, we plan to do some overlays to make that much smoother.
Okay, thank you, because me and my wife argue all the time about why I'm replacing that rim, because she got to slow down. But my next thing is, we have a car dealership, and we kind of brought this up. We consistently have flooding over there in front of the car dealership. What is the name of it? Somebody please help me. Classic. Is there any kind of way we can do a better job? I know it looked like it's already been laid, but what I mean by kind of working together, I'm glad you're here, but working together, maybe getting with the city to kind of do some drainage or partner with y'all on doing some drainage prior to laying that new road, because the last thing we want to do is come back and ask for permission to tear it up to kind of address the drainage issues, because that's a pretty serious flood area. Every time we get a heavy rain, it's almost those residents are kind of forced to go another option. So that's something I think maybe if we can get together. I know things are already happening, but that's a kind of consistent thing I've been asking for almost for the last 3 years when you guys first started coming, and I'm thankful y'all are coming, but I've kind of been consistent on that. And another thing is we're having some issues under our underpasses with homeless and camping. I've seen in other cities where they have the no camping signs underneath the freeway so the law enforcement can actually address it and people can see it. I kind of would like to see us do something like that if we can in the future, because that's another thing. We have those guys that are homeless that are kind of navigating in between cars and almost, having accidents or getting hit. So maybe, I know that's not solely on you guys, but maybe just the signs where it'll kind of give a visual as well as our police officers to get out there and actually address that.
So we've been able to, we actually met with your council before, a long time ago with regards to the signs and the homeless challenges with a lot of your staff. And we continue to partner with the city of Beaumont when we are informed of any situations where we need to remove homeless people from under our system, for safety reasons and things of that nature. We will assist with the cleanup efforts, obviously, right? There's been some conversation with regards to legality, pressing charges, all these kinds of things that are way more involved than just a simple clean out. As far as the signs, we do have the information necessary. So whoever from your staff that wants to reach out to my staff to make sure that we get those proper signs, because it has to be a standard messaging. Obviously, if there is a city ordinance that prohibits homeless encampments and things like that, that would be beneficial to have that information so that we can then work with you all for the signing to be able to be done. But that's definitely something that can be done. And to address your concern with the drainage at the Classic dealership, so obviously, as I mentioned before, this project was underway a long time ago, right? So if there were drainage concerns years ago, those are some of the conversations that should have been held by city staff with TxDOT staff during the design process, right? I am not saying that there's nothing that can't be done, that nothing that can be done now. However, we are only restricted to certain limits within our right-of-way, right? Anything beyond that, that's not something that we can do. But if the city wants to make some improvements to the drainage at that location, I am sure that reaching out to my staff, to Dave Collins, as I mentioned before, as to what is it that y'all are planning on doing or would like to do, we can definitely have that conversation and see what can be done.
Yes,
But again, I cannot say this enough that these projects don't happen overnight. They take years. 30% reviews, 60% review, 90% reviews. The cities get the opportunity to review our plans, to sit in a lot of our public involvement meetings. So when staff, whether it's Public Works or whoever, utilities, whoever it is that attends these things, they have the opportunity to review. And again, we don't just design things in a vacuum. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear on that.
Yeah, and just my last thing, I kind of agree with Councilman Crenshaw with contractor accountability. I think if the city and the citizens knew who these contractors were, who were kind of leaving our city in the condition that they're leaving it in if they do the work, we would do a better job assisting y'all with holding them accountable, because we travel to Dallas, San Antonio, the intersections and everything don't look as bad. So if we can know how to reach out to some of these contractors, just express our concern, we would definitely be willing to support you guys with that, because I understand it's a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely. And there are signs at the beginning of our projects that show who is the contractor that is over that, and it has usually a phone number and a P.O. box that you can actually write to. So, but we can make sure, Kenneth and Dave, that those signs are out there, and we'll make sure that we verify that. But at the same time, too, obviously, we're happy to share that information. If you reach out to Dave's staff.
Yes, sir. You've been very responsive to me, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Councilmember Sherwood.
There's some merge issues on I-10, right? Lanes that are merging and cars don't know that they're merging, and I just don't know what needs to happen, or I don't know if it's striping, I don't know if it's what, but on I-10, there's a lot of lanes that are not lanes, or they're becoming one lane, and there's an issue. I've almost been hit about 10 times. Like, I don't know. So just something to bring up.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of lanes that are merging on I-10, particularly near Walden and Washington. When you're getting up, that lane merges just before you get to Panett. And then there's some merging on I-10 near 11th Street where it's stupid with the 18-wheelers and whatever. It's a disaster of epic proportions. I don't even know where to start. So
Yes, thank you. And so some of that to address the northbound 69 to East I-10, that was something that we visited about also last week. There is what, we refer to as like ghost striping, right? When we start doing some of the phase changes, doing that on concrete pavement, it leaves still a residue of the previous stripe that was there. So it does cause some confusion, and we recognize that on the westbound location, as well as obviously we see that that's going on in the northbound, eastbound location as well. So in the westbound location, as you leave here from downtown and you start going over to, like if you're headed to Lumberton or you start getting south, we did skid abrasion at that, which is making sure that you go in there and you essentially grind the concrete to remove all that ghost striping, if you will, right? Which I'm very proud of the way that looks. I think these guys did a great job of making sure that we got that taken care of. We plan on doing the same thing in the other direction as well. At $500,000 per occurrence that we do that, we delayed doing the skid abrasion on the northbound side until they finish addressing that issue that we have with that drain that Dave was referring to right now, because obviously it's $500,000 if we do it now, and then once we shift that phase, we're going to do another $500,000 a couple of months later. So that's the reason why we've been delaying that. However, Dave and his staff, they made sure that they restripe that. We need to add some additional. We were going to do some black striping that was going to go with the white restripe that they just recently did to help guide folks through there. And I agree with you. Also, we take a look at any of our merge signs, things like that are not given the correct message. We're continuously addressing those things. So I appreciate you bringing that up, and we'll make sure that we verify those things so that we are informing the public with plenty of notice, right? So
Merge on I-10 is crazy.
yeah, no, thank you for that. We'll address that. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all's late night with us too.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.